Did you know that thousands of Canadians could be at risk of losing their citizenship in 2026? That's right, your Canadian passport, your rights, and your identity as a citizen could suddenly be in jeopardy because of new laws most people don't even know about. Imagine living your whole life thinking you're safe, only to find out that a single misstep could strip you of your citizenship. Sounds unbelievable, but this is real, and it's happening now. These changes aren't just small adjustments. They're sweeping reforms that touch residency rules, online behavior, criminal history, and even your international travels. What counts as a threat or misstep might shock you. Things you never imagined, like social media posts, minor paperwork mistakes, or extended stays abroad, could put you on the government's radar. In this video, we'll break down 10 shocking laws that could affect every Canadian. By the end, you'll know exactly what steps to take to protect your citizenship and stay on the safe side of the law. Stay tuned, because missing even one detail could have serious consequences. Number 1. Tightened residency rules. Canada is making a major shakeup in how it defines citizenship eligibility. Starting in 2026, the government will enforce stricter residency requirements than ever before. This means that if you live outside Canada for extended periods, even for work, study, or family reasons, you could risk losing your citizenship. It's no longer just about the number of years you've lived in Canada. You now need to track your days carefully and ensure you meet the minimum residency threshold or face potential consequences. Legal experts warn that some Canadians abroad may not realize they're already close to breaching the new requirements. Even short trips or temporary relocations could add up over time. The law emphasizes that maintaining your connection to Canada isn't just about paperwork. It's about actively proving your ties. That could mean keeping tax records, property ownership, or evidence of family connections in the country. The impact of these changes is significant. Imagine returning home after years abroad only to discover your citizenship has been questioned. It's a reality some people will face if they're unprepared. The government has made it clear that they will monitor compliance closely, and ignorance won't be considered a valid excuse. Practical tip: start tracking every day you spend outside Canada. Keep clear records of your stays, and maintain strong proof of ties back home. If you're unsure whether you meet the new requirements, consult an immigration lawyer or a certified advisor to avoid surprises. Being proactive today can save you from losing your hard-earned Canadian citizenship tomorrow. We've put a lot of effort into bringing you these updates, so if you found this helpful, subscribe to our channel with just one click and stay informed. Comment below. Have you ever tracked your days abroad carefully? What surprised you most about these new rules? Number 2. Dual citizenship risk. If you thought holding 2 passports was completely safe, think again. In 2026, Canada is introducing new regulations on dual citizenship that could put your Canadian status at risk. The government is now scrutinizing citizens who maintain ties to other countries, especially if those ties involve certain international activities, residency obligations, or conflicting legal responsibilities. This isn't just a bureaucratic update. It could have serious consequences for millions of Canadians living abroad. Legal experts highlight that under these new rules, even unintentional actions abroad, such as holding a government position in another country, military service, or certain business engagements, might be considered a conflict with Canadian citizenship obligations. The law focuses on your loyalty and connection to Canada, not just your paperwork. Essentially, it's a warning. Canada wants to ensure that dual citizens remain committed to their responsibilities at home, and failure to comply could trigger investigations or even citizenship revocation. What makes this law particularly tricky is that many Canadians are unaware of the risks. People often assume that dual citizenship protects them, but now it can actually increase scrutiny. Canadians living overseas for work, study, or family reasons need to understand that keeping foreign ties isn't automatically neutral. Ignorance is not an excuse under this law. Practical tip: if you hold multiple citizenships, review your international activities carefully. Keep detailed records of your roles, responsibilities, and time spent abroad. Consult a legal expert familiar with Canadian dual citizenship laws to ensure you're compliant. Staying proactive is key. Your Canadian citizenship is too valuable to risk by assumption. We've worked hard to bring you these critical updates, so subscribe to our channel with just one click and never miss a vital alert. Comment below. Do you hold dual citizenship, and were you aware of these new 2026 rules? Share your experience. Number 3. Criminal convictions abroad. You might think that what happens outside Canada stays outside Canada, but that's no longer true. Starting in 2026, Canadian citizenship can be at risk due to criminal convictions committed overseas. Even if a crime occurs in another country and doesn't involve Canadian law enforcement, the government now has the authority to review your case and determine whether your actions abroad affect your status as a citizen. This change is sending shockwaves through the Canadian community living internationally. Legal experts warn that not all offenses are equal, but certain serious convictions, including fraud, violence, or actions deemed harmful to public safety, can trigger citizenship review or revocation proceedings. In some cases, even minor offenses, if repeated or linked to larger criminal activity, could raise red flags. The government is taking a global stance. Canadian citizenship isn't just about being born here or holding a passport. It's about demonstrating responsible and lawful behavior everywhere you go. What makes this law alarming is how easily it could impact people who live, work, or travel abroad. A casual mistake, being unknowingly involved in illegal activities, or a conviction in a foreign country could result in serious consequences at home. Canadians must now be more vigilant than ever about their international conduct and legal compliance. Practical tip: if you travel, work, or study abroad, always know the local laws and regulations. Keep a record of your legal history and consult a Canadian immigration lawyer if you've had any past issues overseas. Being proactive is crucial. Your Canadian citizenship is too important to leave to chance. Awareness, preparation, and responsible behavior are now essential tools for protecting yourself. We've put a lot of effort into making these videos just for you, so subscribe to our channel with one simple click and stay informed. Comment below, have you ever faced legal challenges abroad, and how did it affect your Canadian ties? Share your story. Number 4. Terrorism and security laws. In 2026, Canada is taking citizenship security more seriously than ever, and this new law could put you at risk if you're unknowingly involved in activities deemed a threat to national security. The government now has the power to revoke citizenship for individuals who participate, directly or indirectly, in terrorist organizations or activities, even if these actions occur outside Canadian borders. This isn't just about extreme cases. Even associating with suspicious groups or networks could put you under legal scrutiny. Experts explain that these measures are designed to protect the safety and integrity of Canada, but they come with serious implications for citizens abroad. The law focuses not just on overt actions, but also on indirect involvement, including providing financial support or other resources to banned organizations. Canadians must now be aware that what you do overseas can affect your citizenship at home, regardless of your intentions. The biggest challenge with this law is that it's easy to make unintentional mistakes. Many people may not realize the legal definition of terrorist activity can be broader than commonly understood. A casual connection, a donation to a suspicious cause, or even interacting with the wrong online groups can trigger investigations that jeopardize your citizenship. Practical tip: stay vigilant about your associations and activities abroad. Research organizations thoroughly before any involvement, and avoid even indirect participation in activities that could be classified as a security threat. Consult legal experts if you have concerns about past actions. Protecting your citizenship now requires awareness, caution, and proactive measures. We've put a lot of effort into making these videos just for you, so subscribe to our channel with just one click to stay ahead of these critical updates. Comment below. Did this law surprise you? Have you ever unknowingly interacted with questionable organizations? Share your experience. Number 5. Fraud and misrepresentation. One of the most shocking ways Canadians could lose their citizenship in 2026 is through fraud or misrepresentation. The government has made it clear, providing false or misleading information during citizenship applications or related legal processes can now lead to immediate revocation. This isn't limited to intentional deception. Even unintentional errors on your paperwork could trigger investigations. Legal experts warn that the authorities are increasingly scrutinizing documents, declarations, and histories submitted by citizens. Minor mistakes, like forgetting to include a travel history or misstating work details, can be interpreted as misrepresentation under the new rules. In the past, these errors might have been overlooked, but under the 2026 law, the Canadian government is taking a zero-tolerance approach to fraud in all its forms. This law emphasizes that citizenship isn't just about holding a passport. It's about honesty and transparency in your dealings with the government. Canadians must now take extra precautions when completing forms, providing information for immigration, or even updating personal records. What seems like a small oversight could have life-changing consequences, potentially putting your citizenship at risk. Practical tip: Always double-check every detail on your applications and supporting documents. Keep copies of all submissions and ensure every statement is accurate. If you're unsure about certain details, consult an immigration lawyer or certified advisor. Being proactive can save you from the stress, legal battles, and potential loss of Canadian citizenship. Transparency and diligence are now more important than ever. We've worked hard to bring you these crucial updates, so subscribe to our channel with just one click and stay informed about your rights. Comment below. Have you ever made a mistake on official documents? Did you know it could affect your Canadian citizenship under these new laws? Number 6. National security threats. In 2026, Canadian authorities are taking a tougher stance on national security, and your citizenship could be at risk if you are deemed a threat to Canada. This isn't limited to violent actions. Any behavior or association that the government considers potentially harmful to national safety can trigger citizenship review or revocation. From public statements to business dealings or international connections, the definition of a security threat has expanded, and Canadians must now be more vigilant than ever. Legal experts emphasize that these laws are designed to protect the country, but the consequences for citizens are serious. Even indirect involvement with groups or activities that the government flags as risky could lead to investigations. In other words, your words, associations, and actions, both in Canada and abroad, are being closely monitored. What may seem harmless to you could be interpreted as a security concern, putting your citizenship in jeopardy. The reality is that ignorance is no longer a defense. Canadians must now understand that protecting your citizenship is not just about following the law in the traditional sense. It's about being aware of how your activities can be perceived under the new national security framework. The government will act swiftly if it believes a citizen poses any threat, and the consequences can be permanent. Practical tip: stay informed about laws and government advisories. Avoid any actions, statements, or associations that could be misinterpreted as threatening to Canada's safety. If you have any concerns about past behavior or current activities, seek guidance from a qualified legal professional. Staying proactive and cautious is now critical to ensuring your Canadian citizenship remains secure. We've put a lot of effort into creating these vital updates, so subscribe to our channel with just one click to stay protected. Comment below. Did this law surprise you? How do you plan to ensure your citizenship stays safe under these new rules? Share your thoughts. Number 7. Social media conduct. In 2026, the Canadian government is turning its attention to your online behavior, and this law could impact your citizenship in ways many people never imagined. Social media isn't just a platform for sharing memes or updates. It can now be used as a tool to evaluate whether a citizen is acting responsibly and lawfully. Sharing extremist content, promoting violence, or even engaging with questionable groups online can trigger investigations that put your Canadian citizenship at risk. Legal experts emphasize that the law doesn't only target serious criminal activity. Even indirect involvement, like liking or sharing content deemed harmful or threatening, can draw scrutiny. Canada's 2026 regulations aim to ensure that citizens uphold Canadian values, both offline and online. In essence, your social media footprint is no longer private. It can be monitored to determine your loyalty and responsibility as a Canadian citizen. What makes this law particularly alarming is how easy it is to unintentionally cross a line. Many people interact online without thinking about potential legal implications, assuming their activity is harmless. Under the new law, ignorance is not a valid defense. Canadians must now be mindful of their online presence, interactions, and the groups they engage with. Practical tip: audit your social media accounts regularly. Remove content or associations that could be misinterpreted as harmful, extremist, or threatening. Avoid engaging with groups or discussions that are politically or socially controversial in ways that could draw government attention. Staying aware, cautious, and responsible online is now essential for protecting your citizenship. We've put a lot of effort into making these videos just for you, so subscribe to our channel with one click and never miss crucial updates. Comment below. Have you checked your social media footprint recently? Did you find anything that could put your citizenship at risk? Share your thoughts. Number 8. Civic duty requirements. In 2026, Canada is introducing a law that could affect your citizenship if you fail to fulfill certain civic responsibilities. While most Canadians think of civic duties like voting, paying taxes, or participating in government programs as optional or routine, the new regulations now make compliance a legal obligation tied directly to citizenship status. Failing to meet these responsibilities, even unintentionally, could put your Canadian citizenship in jeopardy. Legal experts explain that the government views active participation in civic life as a measure of a citizen's commitment to Canada. This includes ensuring that taxes are filed correctly, voting in elections when eligible, and adhering to local laws and regulations. If you neglect these duties, authorities may consider it evidence of disengagement or neglect, which can trigger reviews of your citizenship status. In other words, being disconnected or inactive as a citizen could have serious long-term consequences. What makes this law particularly critical is that it impacts citizens across all ages and lifestyles. Canadians living abroad, retirees, and even young adults may not realize that failing to participate in civic duties could draw government attention. Ignorance or apathy is no longer a valid defense. The government expects every citizen to demonstrate responsibility, compliance, and engagement. Practical tip: ensure you stay up to date on all civic obligations. File taxes on time, participate in elections, and remain informed about local laws and regulations. If you're living abroad, make arrangements to vote and meet legal responsibilities remotely. Keeping records and demonstrating compliance is now a key part of protecting your Canadian citizenship. We've put a lot of effort into making these videos for you, so subscribe to our channel with just one click and stay ahead of critical updates. Comment below. Did you know failing civic duties could affect citizenship? How do you stay on top of your responsibilities? Share your experience. Number 9. Passport and travel rules. In 2026, Canada is implementing strict new rules regarding passports and travel, and these could directly impact your citizenship status. Under the updated law, authorities will closely monitor Canadians' travel patterns, passport usage, and international movements. Any suspicious activity or misuse of a Canadian passport can trigger investigations that may lead to revocation of citizenship. This isn't just about extreme cases. It applies to everyday travel behaviors that the government now deems non-compliant or risky. Legal experts warn that activities such as misreporting your travel, using a passport for questionable purposes, or failing to report lost or stolen documents can all be considered violations under the new regulations. Even seemingly minor mistakes, like overstaying in certain countries or repeated travel to flagged regions, could put you on the government's radar. In essence, your movements abroad are no longer private, and responsible management of travel documents is crucial. This law is particularly important for Canadians who live, work, or study overseas. Many may assume that as long as they return home regularly, their citizenship is safe, but Canada's 2026 regulations emphasize transparency, accountability, and documentation. Authorities are now empowered to investigate and act if travel patterns appear irregular or suspicious. Ignorance will not protect you. Failing to comply with these rules could have serious consequences. Practical tip: always maintain accurate records of your travel. Report lost or stolen passports immediately, avoid risky or unexplained trips to certain regions, and ensure your international travel is transparent and lawful. If you're unsure about compliance, consult an immigration lawyer or certified advisor. Being proactive is key. Protecting your citizenship requires careful attention to even routine travel. We've put a lot of effort into creating these videos for you, so subscribe to our channel with just one click and stay informed on all critical updates. Comment below. Have you ever faced travel-related issues with your passport? How will you adjust your travel habits under these new laws? Share your experience. Number 10. Appeals and legal changes. The final law you need to know about in 2026 is how Canada is changing the appeals and legal processes related to citizenship. Previously, if your citizenship was questioned, there were multiple layers of review and longer timelines for appeals. Under the new law, the government is streamlining these processes, meaning decisions regarding revocation can happen much faster and with less room for delay. This makes it more important than ever to understand your legal rights and options if you face a review. Legal experts emphasize that these changes are designed to make citizenship enforcement more efficient, but the impact on citizens is significant. If an issue arises, whether due to residency violations, criminal records, social media activity, or any of the other laws we've discussed, your ability to appeal is time-sensitive and strictly regulated. Failing to act quickly or without proper guidance could result in permanent loss of Canadian citizenship. What makes this law especially concerning is that it affects all Canadians, including those living abroad. Many assume that being unaware of procedural changes or missing a deadline won't matter, but the government has made it clear that citizens must be proactive. The new system prioritizes swift enforcement, so citizens need to stay informed and prepared to respond immediately if contacted by authorities. Practical tip: keep records of all legal documents, correspondence with immigration authorities, and proof of compliance with Canadian laws. If you ever receive a notice regarding your citizenship, act immediately and seek guidance from a qualified immigration lawyer. Being proactive is the only way to protect your status under these new regulations. Awareness, preparation, and quick action are now critical to safeguarding your Canadian citizenship. We put a lot of effort into making these videos, so subscribe to our channel with just one click and stay ahead of these important updates. Comment below, which of these 10 laws surprised you the most? How will you protect your Canadian citizenship moving forward? Share your thoughts. Canada's new 2026 laws are a wake-up call for every citizen. From residency requirements and dual citizenship risks to criminal convictions abroad, social media conduct, and even civic duties, these changes touch nearly every aspect of a citizen's life. The government has made it clear, being a Canadian isn't just about holding a passport. It's about responsibility, transparency, and active engagement. Ignorance is no longer a safe option. These 10 laws highlight the importance of staying informed and proactive. Every decision, whether it's living overseas, managing online activity, traveling internationally, or completing legal paperwork, can impact your citizenship. Even actions you might consider minor could have major consequences under the new rules. By understanding these laws, keeping accurate records, and consulting legal experts when necessary, you can protect yourself from unexpected surprises and safeguard your rights. The key takeaway is simple: knowledge is power. Take these laws seriously, stay aware of how they apply to your personal situation, and act before issues arise. Your Canadian citizenship is not just a privilege. It's a responsibility that requires careful attention in today's changing legal landscape. Remember, being proactive today can save you from stress, legal battles, and the unimaginable risk of losing your citizenship tomorrow. These 2026 laws may seem overwhelming, but with awareness, preparation, and responsible action, you can continue to enjoy the rights and benefits of being a Canadian citizen. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and never underestimate the importance of protecting your status. Canada values its citizens, but it also expects them to honor the obligations that come with citizenship.